Good morning, YouTube. This is Marty coming to you once again with my view of the world. It's very early in the morning here. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I woke up this morning, get myself together for my day, to start my day. I go to the bathroom, start my morning routine in the whole nine. I come back, so I grab my phone, and I started flipping through YouTube. And something popped up on my feed. And it was Miss Patricia Dickson again, talking about the DNC should pay reparation to the black community because the Democrat Party is the main responsible one for slavery. Now, I just want you to hear part of what she said, and then I'm going to talk about what she said, because here we go again. She's putting out half-truths. She's putting out distorted facts. And it's to the point where, why do we do that? If you feel so strongly in your views, put out real facts, don't distort them, and let people make their own decision. Why do you have to try to bend the truth, twist the truth in order to get your point across? But like I say, just listen to what she has to say, and then we'll talk about it.
If we're going to have this discussion about reparations, we have to discuss the entire thing. We can't just say we as black Americans need to be compensated. We as black descendants, black Americans who are descendants of slaves, need to be compensated because of the wealth gap. There is a wealth gap, but if you want to attribute it to slavery, then you have to attribute everything that transpired throughout history that got us to this point. If you're going to have the conversation. In other words, who was it that enslaved us? What party did that? And what other laws did they put in place? What other oppressive, discriminative, regressive, suppressive laws were put in place to hold black people back? Because they said we've been held back. Here's that a lot. We were held back. We were slaves. We were held back. There's an income gap. There's a wealth gap. If that's all true, and if you are attributing it to slavery, then we have to talk about the entire thing. We can't leave anything out. Because where you are today, even in your personal life, wherever you are today is the result of history. Something got you here. You just didn't wake up one day like this. So if you are attributing all the L's, the income inequality, the wealth gap, and all of that to slavery, then we have to talk about who it is and what it was that put us in the situation, who was responsible for the laws, who was responsible for it. So then when we have that conversation, it's going to come back to who? The Democrats, okay? The Democrat Party is the one that's always talking about slavery, Jim Crow, income inequality, but they never say it was our party that did it. They say America, but America did not do it all. It was the Democrat Party that enslaved black people. It wasn't the Republican Party. No Republicans owned slaves. Republicans freed the slaves. In fact, it was a couple of guys that were anti-slavery, that wanted to abolish slavery, and got together and said, hey, let's form a party. And it was the Republican Party that they formed for the sole reason to end slavery and abolish slavery.
Now, we're going to stop it there. And we're going to talk about what she just said. Now, she's basically saying that the Democratic Party is the sole responsible person or group for slavery, which is factually wrong. I don't know if Miss Patricia heard of a party called the Whig Party, which was part of the group that helped found the Republican Party. Now, the Whig Party had two people that became president. President Harrison and President Taylor. Both of those presidents had slaves. And which party did they come from? They came from the Whig Party, which was founded, which helped found the Republican Party. So that's one fact that she didn't tell you. That Harrison and Taylor had slaves in which they was part of the Whig Party, in which people from the Whig Party helped found the Republican Party. She didn't tell you that. All right. Then another inaccurate fact that she stated, she said that the Republican Party was founded to solely to abolish slavery, to end slavery. No, the Republican Party was founded to keep slavery from being expanded into the Western states. It wasn't founded to help abolish slavery altogether. It was founded to help keep slavery from expanding into the Western states. So if it was founded to abolish slavery, that means that those people who founded the Republican Party would have fought to ban slavery across the South completely. But no, it wasn't trying to abolish slavery in the South that was already existent. It was just trying to stop the expanding of slavery. I think she needs to go back and read the Kansas and I think it's Kansas-Nebraska Act bill, which was passed to help to stop slavery from expanding into the West. She needs to go back and read that bill, and maybe she'll understand a little better. Also, what she failed to mention was there was a few Democrats who helped found the Republican Party. The most famous one is from Maine. His name was Hannibal Hamlin, I believe. Yeah, Hannibal Hamlin. He was a Democrat from Maine who left the Democrat Party because he was trying to help also stop the expansion of slavery into the Western states. So it wasn't all people who had this Republican or Whig Party identity that helped form the Republican Party. Democrats in the North also try to help found. Some of the Democrats in the North also helped found the Republican Party. See, like I said, Ms. Dickson, when you talk about reparations is a countrywide thing, not just a Democrat thing. It's a Republican thing and it's a Democrat thing. You got to realize the founding fathers of this country had slavery. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson had slaves. So you just ignore their portion of it? We just ignore that George Washington, the first president of the United States of America, had slaves? Ignore Thomas Jefferson, another president of the United States, had slaves? Ignore Harrison, another president of the United States who had slaves? Ignore Taylor, another president of the United States who had slaves? And there's a gray area with Grant. And President Grant, who before he became president, he did own one slave. So we ignore him too because he's a Republican. So it's not what you're saying it is. You cannot just go by and say, oh, the Democrat Party is responsible to pay reparations for everyone in this country, every black descendant in this country, because they're the one who had slaves. They're the one who basically is responsible for slavery in this country. No, it don't work like that. I'm sorry to say, Ms. Dickson. So you're totally wrong again. Get your facts straight, because you're misleading the American people into having them think that the Democratic Party is the only party that was responsible for slavery. And it's not true. The entire country is responsible for slavery. Not just the Democrat Party. The entire country. Like I said, you try to make things so simple and just blame it on the Democrat Party. It is not just that simple. It's not that easy. So if you're going to give reparations, it's not just the Democrat Party responsible for reparations. It's the entire country responsible for reparations.